Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Super here, and I'm bringing you guys my first tutorial here for Combat Pack number 2 as far as character tutorials. And we're going to be covering specific variations on these DLC characters because they play so differently from each other, and you want to accomplish, or your game plan is so much different than, let's just say another variation. And that goes across the board. It's not only Triborg, which does have 4 unique variations, but also Leatherface and Alien, which I'll be talking about, that their game plans change depending on what variation you are using. So today I'm going to be starting out with Cyber Sub, just because it's a character that I probably put the most time in, and it's pretty much my favorite Triborg variation just because it's so fast paced and you do have a lot of tools. Like, Cyber Sub is very good. So let's get started. I don't want this video to be too long because it is just a specific variation how to play, and I do want to talk about the other variations and just make these tutorials for the other variations as fast as I can, so you guys can see them as fast as I can put them out. So let's start with Cyber Sub here. So Cyber Sub's game plan is to get you in the corner. As much as you might hate that, I've been getting a lot of comments on, can you show us some Cyber Sub-Zero combos? And when it comes to combos for Cyber Sub, you have no variation. Like, this is a combo that I would recommend for you guys here. Something like this. As long as your combo is a really good corner carry, like, look how much this carries to the corner, guys. That is a half screen corner carry, and you're at a perfect scenario right there because you have him in the corner, and Cyber Sub-Zero excels in the corner. Not to say he's bad at fucking long range or mid range, because he does have the bombs. He has the really fast ice beam, or ice ball, and then he does have the ice beam that's really fast that eats up projectiles. So he could be a really versatile character, but your main game plan is to get your opponent in the corner so you can start going with your overhead low traps, with your low to lows, with your grabs into the bomb setup, you know what I mean? So your game plan as a Sub-Zero player is to get your opponent in the corner. So let's first start off with some of his buttons that you should be using. Of course, forward 1, a universal Triborg button that's really good. Most of the buttons, like the best buttons, are going to be universal because nothing changes except for back 2 and forward 2, which back 2 I don't use that much, and forward 2 we'll go into a little bit later. But forward 1, 7 frame, forward advancing move. This is probably your best punish. That or standing 1, of course. Standing 1, you go into 113 into ice beam, and then do whatever you want. So your best punishes are going to be forward 1 and standing 1. You could easily hit confirm forward 1-3. If you want to sort of put your opponent in a block string, you can do forward 1-3-1 into EX ice beam, but I wouldn't recommend it too much. Let's see how much chip it does actually, now that I'm actually curious. Alright, so the EX Ice Beam actually does not do any chip at all. So, this is actually unsafe. You have to stop at 1-3. This is safe right here. You don't want to do the full string or commit to the full string, or you don't want to, commit to this. You want to see if the forward 1 hits, and I know sometimes it's really tricky to see it hit and then, hit confirm it, but you do not want to commit into this because this is punishable on block. So moving on here, let's take him off block. What you want to do to keep your 50-50 safe, right? So you could do your back 1 and your back 3. These are your 50-50 options to open people up with Cyber Sub-Zero. He does have a godlike neutral jump punch, so you could maybe sometimes do this and you're gonna catch your opponent. He has a lot of really good tools. This is a universal low overhead. And to keep it safe, because that is actually unsafe, if the person blocks it, you get punished. But to keep it safe, you do back 3, down 4, up 3, and that's only -4. So it's very good. It's a low overhead, and then you're still safe. And this does what, 15%? Yeah, 15%. Late game situation, your opponent might not expect it. But the main game plan and the main way you're gonna open people up with Cyber Sub is back 1 and back 3, and you want to keep you want to play as safe as possible. You know what I mean? And with Cyber Sub, you're gonna build a lot of meter because if you're standing back here, you know, you could you could do this. All this is building meter. You know, you recover really fast from the ice ball, really fast. All this is building meter, right? Of course, if you freeze your opponent, you know, you can't throw out another ice beam. All this is building a lot of meter for Cyber Sub, so you're gonna have plenty to spare. You can go for the back one into 2+4, but that is unsafe, I believe. Let's see. Back 1 2+4 is -11, so that is completely unsafe. You know, a lot of things can punish that. But what you want to do if you want to stay 100% safe, even though this is online, this is actually a lot safer than -11, of course, because it is online. But if you want to stay completely safe, what you want to do is back 1 into EX Beam, EX Ice Beam, and back 3 into EX Ice Beam. That way you could call, you know, a drone. You could do any of your combos to get a nice corner carry. So let's see how much the EX Beam is. So the EX Beam is actually -9, but it's really hard to punish. So this is like your best way to stay safe. It has a nice amount of hit stun, and it's a way for you to, you know, stay safe. Keep your 50/50 is a lot safer than this -11. But if you do want to go for that, you know, it's fine. But you know, back 3 has a lot of range, right? So this has a lot. It goes character length. Same with back 1. You know, at this range, you do your ice beam, you're not getting punished. If your opponent blocks that, I don't think there's a character in the game that's gonna punish it. You know, of course, maybe like reptile slide, something like that, because that punishes. You know, that can punish everything because it is 6 frames. At this range, you're not really gonna get punished. You know, for doing the EX beam. So 50/50 overhead low, best way to open people up. And like I said, once you do, you could call in your drone. Whenever you free someone, always call in the drone. And what the drones do is they enhance your ice attacks, and they actually make it so some of your strengths change. So forward 1-2 actually changes. Forward 1-2 by default, you can now cancel it into anything. But if you have a drone now, forward 1-2 makes you recover a lot faster, and you're able to, you know, keep running forward or get a slide afterwards. So something like this, something like that is only possible if you have a drone out. If you have 2 drones out, you know, you could repeat the process. You know, so combos like that open up whenever you have drones. So it's always important to have this. And of course, another benefit of having your drones out is if you do an ice ball and you hold the button, it's actually going to do damage over time. As you guys see, he's losing a little bit of damage. I think it does maybe 3%. Let's see. It does 4% extra damage, right? So that's always nice to get a little bit more damage. You know, you do your 50/50, your ice ball, it's hurting him. You actually could call another drone. You know, let's just say you have one out. You get him with this. I always forget. By the way, make sure you condition yourself to hold the button, because I always forget personally. You hold the button, call in another drone, do your corner carry combo, you know, and then you call in a bomb. That's pretty much the game plan for Cyber Sub-Zero. So let me show you guys again. Let's just say, for example, you're playing the whole game or whatever. You already have some drones out. You free someone. You know, you could even jump in with this combo now, and then get all this started, right? So that's what you want to do as a Cyber Sub-Zero player. You know, your best tools: forward 1, standing 1, 1-1-1-2 actually is +2 on block. So you could do this. You know, you could start with 1-1-1 and then, you know, go for an overhead because your opponent expects the last hit on the string. Same with back 3. You could stagger 2-1. This is actually +2. He does have this move as well, but I don't find like too much use for it. I don't really use it that much. Of course, when you have a, you know, little drone out, you could enhance it, and it does a little bit extra damage. Can you cancel it out of it? Let's see. No, you cannot. It just does a little bit extra damage. And something else that does happen whenever you do have the drone is if you do your back 2 and you hold it, you could actually do a neutral jump punch. So that's only possible in the drone because by default you can't. See, I do back 2 right there. I try to do neutral jump punch, can't get it. But if you do have this and you enhance it, see, I always forget, man. Even now when I'm need to, or when I'm reminding myself to do it, I always forget. So you gotta condition yourself to do it. I never use this, that's why, but I'm just informing you guys that you could, you know, pretty much do back 2. And I can't do the combo for some reason, but you know, it's just a tool that you can use. But it's best if you're gonna use an overhead to use this, because this, even if you land the back 1-2-4, you could meter burn this in order to freeze your opponent. You get a free ice drone, and you get your corner carry combo. You know, you call in your bomb, you start with all your cyber sub nonsense in the corner. That's what you want as a cyber sub-zero player. So now let me pretty much show you guys what I've made videos on before, but it's pretty much cyber sub-zero's corner game, and that's where all his gameplay revolves around. So told you guys, you know, any combo that cyber sub does, because he does have the instant dive kick thing, that you could go in, you could put in the middle of a combo. His corner carry is going to be ridiculous, like half screen corner carry, you know what I mean? So you're going to find yourself a lot as a cyber sub-zero player with your opponent in the corner, and that is exactly where you want them. So let's just say, for example, I open up my opponent with a back 1-2+4, freeze that, call in my drone, do a forward 4-3 instant dive kick. So you do this, and then you do down 3 to do the dive kick. You could either neutral jump punch, or you could do the same motion again, forward 4-3 dive kick. And make sure whenever you dive kick in the corner, use dive kick down 3, because he does have 2 options for dive kick. You have down 3, which goes really close, and down 4, which goes a little bit far away. When you're in the corner, always use the down 3. When you're in mid-screen combos, use down 4. Or actually, you could use down 3 as well. You know, I use both. They both work perfectly fine mid-screen, but in the corner, you want to use the standing 3-1 because it works a lot better. So let's just say I catch my opponent with an overhead. Call in my drone. And then you always want to end your corner combo now in forward 2. Because forward 2 normally is not a hard knockdown. As you guys see, he gets up normally. But if your opponent's in the air, it turns into a real hard knockdown. Like, he stays on the ground for a long time. You cannot tech roll out of it. You cannot quick get up out of it. You have to stay on the ground for, you know, the amount of time in which a hard knockdown allows you to get up, right? So always end your combo in this. Before the nerf, you know, you would always end your combo in 1-1-1-2, because this was a hard knockdown. This is still a hard knockdown, but they nerfed this, so you cannot call in special moves right after you hard knockdown your opponent with 1-1-1-2. So you would do this before, right? And then you call in your, you know, your ice bomb. And as you guys saw, I did a back 2 because I was trying to do the motion to call it, but you know, I wasn't registering because I couldn't actually do the move yet. So now you want to end all your combos in forward 2. So your offense in the corner is going to look something like this. Now you call it that. Do your back 3 down 4. You know, you do this. And you know, you just keep going. You have many options, so I'll give you guys the options that CyberSub has. Whenever you knock someone down with that, you immediately call your ice ball, the close ice ball. So once you call your close ice ball, you could do a back 3 down 4. So they're gonna wake up to a overhead low, almost unblockable setup. They have maybe 1 or 2 frames to block it. You could do just a down 3 to catch them from jumping. See, the reason you do a down 3 is if they try to jump, this is gonna catch them. They're gonna fall into the ice bomb. So that's how you prevent people from jumping, and this gives you enough time to also, if they block this, you know, they're just going to be sitting there because they know the bomb is going to explode, so they're not going to do any move afterwards. So you could do this into low, or you could do this into instant dive kick, which is an instant overhead. And of course the bomb hits low, so you could either go like that, instant low into overhead, or you could go, you know, like this, low to low to low. So those are your like main options. Of course, you could also grab your opponent. You know, grab your opponent is gonna cause them to refreeze, and it doesn't matter if he actually techs to throw, because if he's just there without blocking, he's going to get frozen. So this is what you want as a Sub-Zero main right here. All your game is, you know, everything that you want to do is for your opponent to come to the corner, and then it's party time. You know what I mean? Like, you could end the round in a heartbeat by doing this, because this is Cyber Sub's strength. Being in the corner, going for your low overhead, it's you know, very, very good. So that's pretty much going to be it, guys, for the how to play Cyber Sub-Zero video. I hope you guys you know, enjoyed it. If you learned something, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, and if you have any questions, of course, leave it in the comments section. So other than that, I will catch you guys next time.